There's no easy way to say this, and I'm not generally a negative guy, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The Spyderco Para 3 lightweight sucks. It utilizes FRN handle scales, which are flexible and feel cheap. The lightweight models from Spyderco default to using a wire clip, which I hate. And for some crazy reason, Spyderco decided to save weight by getting rid of a bronze washer. Why? It is less expensive, by about $50 on average in comparison to its G10 counterpart. Not to mention, because most other people know the same things I know, the availability on the lightweight knives is generally speaking a lot better. Do you pay the extra cheddar to the piper called Spyderco? Or is there a better option? An option that gets rid of all of those issues I just mentioned. Let's go ahead and talk about a solution from Barclay CNC that I think you're really going to like. Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in, and if you've been here before, smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny, and today I'm excited because I think we have an opportunity to make Spyderco Para 3 lightweight models good. Not just good, but great. And I mentioned it in the intro of the video, but I've got some issues with the regular Para 3 lightweight. I hate the scales, I hate the pocket clip, and I hate the fact that it has, you know, a single phosphor bronze washer. This mod fixes all of that. And a big shout out and thank you to Barclay CNC for being willing to send me a set of their scales from their latest release, which is the titanium Para 3 lightweight skinny scales. I saw them post this on Instagram and I reached out, and in the interest of full disclosure, I reached out to them and I said, hey, I would love to do a video on what you're doing here, because it's so impressive. The options for the Para 3 lightweight have been kind of lackluster from a lot of other companies recently. So when I saw these, I had to try it. I had to check it out. I had to reach out. That being said, I have never taken Para 3 lightweight scales specifically and swapped them out. Why? Well, for a couple reasons. For one, I'm just not a fan of wire clips, and the lightweight versions always have wire clips, and that's a bit of a boo-hoo. But two, the lightweight scale options for aftermarket modding always tend to be aluminum or other G10, and there are some titanium options starting to hit the market, and this is the one that impressed me the most. So I've got everything blown up here, and I want to answer some questions right off the bat. The first is, you know, what do you get if you order this from Barclay CNC? And by the way, they are available at the time of recording, and I will, of course, link to it in the description down below. But what do you get? Well, for starters, you get the scales. And if you're not a fan of this is called the Desprez or the Deprez. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. I think it's Desprez. They do have this in their popular Corinthian and lines of Hezron milling options as well. But I like this minimalist. I think it looks fantastic. So you get the scales. They're also going to send you an additional washer. They're going to send you a new set of hardware that is going to not only work with the new scales, because the lightweight scales only have one body screw right there. These regular scales have two body screws, and then of course they're going to send you a backspacer, that's very important, and a set of screws for the pocket clip. Now you can use one of the multitude of aftermarket clips that are available out there on the market. Now for my cases today, I thought that this worked rather well with this getup. This is the MXG deep carry spoon clip. Big fan of this guy, and I might switch out the clip in the future, but this is just what I had on hand in excess that I thought, you know what, that'd be a good clip for this. But what does it cost? Well, To get these scales that are titanium and extremely lightweight with the hardware, with the backspacer, is going to cost you $155. And guys, these are made right here in the United States out of Spokane, Washington. So they're local. You're supporting a US company, and that's something that you can feel truly good about. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and just put it together for you to show you how it's done. I've already put this together once and I've taken it apart. One of the benefits of these scales is that they are extremely easy to put together. Now, you do need a combination of the hardware that they sent and the hardware that existed on your pre-existing stock Spyderco Para 3 lightweight. Specifically, you're going to need the pivot, the original washer, you're going to need the stop pin screws, and you're going to need this liner right here. Today for the blade, we're using the Big Brown Bear 15V Para 3 blade, and I love that blade steel, and it's too bad, too sad that Crucible's gone out of business. I had to pick one up because there probably won't be another chance to get one. For starters, you want to put it together from the liner side first. So to get this to work, what you got to do first is you got to place this liner in there, and then you have to take this provided backspacer, which is also titanium, and you've got to lay it over this milled circular option right there. Now from here, the nice thing is that this body screw screws right into the liner and right into this backspacer, so it's not too terribly difficult. And I'm going to go ahead and do my best to show this on camera while I talk. But the T8 Torx driver is for the body screws. The T6 is going to be for the stop pin and the pocket clip screws. And we're just going to get that in there like that. Yeah. All right. Now that that's in, we're good to go there. The next thing you want to do is add in the stop pin. So the stop pin right here, it's just this guy right there. This pops in. No big deal. And that is going to be a T6 Torx bit. So we'll flip this back around to the T6 side. Then you want to take one of your washers and the square side of your pivot. And at this point, I really do suggest putting just a single drop of your favorite oil on that washer. Not a whole lot, just a single drop. And you're going to want to go ahead and screw in this side of the pivot. This is a Torx 10 panhead pivot screw. Don't make the mistake of using T8. A lot of people do. But this is in fact a Torx T10 pivot screw. And if you use a T8, you run the risk of potentially stripping out this pivot screw, and that's just a pain. So make sure you're using the proper Torx head size and the proper bits to get this done. All right, there we go. So we have it pretty much assembled from one side. And now we're just going to take this blade and we're going to go ahead and pop this in there. Bada bing, bada boom. Let me know in the comment section, what's your favorite pivot lube to use? I know many people will look at this and say, oh, you don't need to use anything on phosphor bronze washers. It polishes itself out. I get it. Honestly, I don't care. This is just how I do it. This is how I've gotten the best results. And I like doing it with this lock bar depressed. It does create some pressure, and I do recommend pinching it and holding it down when you do this. And that's just going to allow it to stay together as one. All right, so now we've got it together. When the pivot fully goes in, you can kind of feel it snap into place. Boom, just like that. All right, don't worry about over tightening it right out of the gates. We can go ahead and tune this after we get the rest of this installed. One of the things that I do like about the Para 3 lightweight is the fact that this stop pin is screwed in. It's not just a floating stop pin like you get on the regular Para 3. And so what that means is that it's actually a much more solid stop pin than if it was just a free floating thing. It helps with things like lockup. It helps with things like tuning. And then we've got to go ahead and pop in this T8 pan head and our pocket clip. There's a lot of different options out there. It's one of the benefits of switching to these scales is that you get opened up to a world of options for the pocket clip. It's also really nice that they go ahead and provide the screws. So many times I have gone to install a pocket clip on a knife that I just added scales to, and because the scale thickness could be different than stock, it means that the stock screws might not work. So it's nice knowing that you're getting hardware that will work directly with your new scales. Just get that in there, line up one first and the rest will follow. All right, now that we've got it all together, we want to check a few things. We want to check the action. We want to check for blade play and for blade centering. Now, blade centering on here looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and check the action. Okay, what about blade play? No blade play. It's solid. The action is perfect. Oh, man. Yeah, it should be. Listen. You know when the scales are good because oftentimes with aftermarket scales, what I find is you install them and then you end up with a little bit of blade play, which sucks. Or if you get rid of the blade play, then all of a sudden the action has suffered. In this case, it hasn't at all. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that you don't have full liners here. You just have the liner lock itself, the liner bar right there. And everything else is these nice titanium scales. Now, that's not necessarily easy for a scale maker to do because that means that everything else is on them. Maybe that's why you don't see a whole lot of titanium aftermarket scales for the Para 3 lightweight. This one feels good. And in the interest of full disclosure, I've been carrying this knife like this for the last several days, and it's really, really enjoyable. Part of that has to do with the fact that these edges are all rounded over. Could you call that crowned edges? I don't know. These are slab style handle scales, but because the edges are all perfectly milled over and rounded over, it's very, very comfortable. And these are lightweight. These are lightweight. The big difference between a lightweight and a regular G10 Spyderco Para 3 is about 1 ounce. The lightweight Para 3 is going to be coming in at 2.4 ounces, and the G10 version is going to be coming in at 3.4 ounces. Now, this might not make a difference to a lot of people, but if you're a backpacker, if you're a hiker, if you count every single ounce that you're carrying on you, or maybe you just wear gym shorts all the time, then that extra ounce might make a difference. Now, typically speaking, when you have titanium scales or you add titanium to anything, you're getting a heavy knife. Even on a smaller knife like the Para 3, you're looking at 4 ounces easily. But because these are so heavily milled out, these only raise the weight from 2.4 to 3.4. So they're going to weigh the exact same as a regular G10 model. That's cool. That means that you get the titanium without paying the weight cost of carrying titanium. And you know what? I'll prove it for those of you who want to see it on a scale. Check this out. I kid you not. This is so cool. 3.3 ounces? Stop it. A titanium Para 3 that weighs the same as a G10 version. This makes it truly elite. This is an excellent upgrade, not to mention the fact that now you also get a backspacer built in. I mean, I guess the backspacer kind of has to be there so that these body screws have something to screw into, but that's nice. That's a really nice touch. And I like the fact that it's all stone washed. You know, the beauty of this setup right here is that this is a setup that I could see myself using every single day and not feeling bad about the scratches because it's already got the stone wash from Barclay. They did that in-house and they did a really, really good job on that. Guys, that's going to do it for me today. I absolutely love the Para 3 Lightweight in this configuration, and I wanted to showcase just how easy it was to install everything, how quick it was, how painless, and how well everything comes together. But that's going to do it for me. Guys, if you liked the video and you haven't done so yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button. But if you just want to watch some more awesome knife and EDC content, feel free to click on one of the videos that pops up next.